What's up, my hunting brothers and sisters? Today we are going to take a look at what I'm using in 2024 for my mobile hunting setup. I'm going to give you a detailed rundown through all the gear. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. So if you've been following along with my channel for the last about 4 or 5 years now, pretty much exclusively saddle hunt these days. I got very few tree stand locations left. I do occasionally box blind hunt or hunt from the ground, but saddle hunting has now become like 95% of how I hunt. And pretty much when I saddle hunt these days, of those hunts, I would say 98 to 99% of them are straight up one sticking. So I want to give you a rundown of what the gear that I'm using in 2024 is. I have at my disposal a lot of gear. I've formulated some relationships and friendships within the mobile hunting community, but I'm really in no professional bound relationship with any brand in the mobile hunting sector. So I've been fortunate. I've tested a lot of different gear. I've hunted out of a lot of different saddles, some tethered saddles, some Arsenal saddles, some Latitude saddles, Buzzard Roost saddles, and I'm forgetting a couple others, a Cruiser, a time or two, and a couple others. And I've been up and down on many sticks and a lot of different platforms, and they're all great. All of them are great. Just get that straight out of the way. The last couple of years, I've been hunting exclusively out of Latitude saddles. Awesome. In fact, their Method 2 has been my go-to saddle. I love a two-panel saddle. Not the biggest fan of single-panel saddles. I will say that their new, the Latitude Maverick saddle, probably the most comfortable single-panel saddle that I've ever sat in. But my back tends to ache a lot when I saddle hunt for too long. Just my back, I don't know. I'm 55. I'm getting older. So I like having a back support. And of course, you can run a back band in a single panel, but it's another set of straps, and I don't like monkeying with it. So the Method 2 has been my go-to. However, I've changed some things up this year. So this year, I decided I reached out to Buzzard Roost, and I'm going with a Buzzard Roost saddle. I paid for this saddle with my own money. I've met Benny a few times at different, he owns Buzzard Roost. I met him a few times at different expos and stuff. Seems like a really good guy. I know he's got like a cult following. So I reached out to him. He did me a slight industry discount, but really it wasn't much of anything. It basically covered shipping for the most part and taxes, I think. So anyways, on this, but this is a Buzzard Roost two-panel saddle. I ran a Latitude Method 2 for the last couple of years. Love that two-panel. Where the Buzzard Roost for me shines, I'm going to do a full video on this saddle eventually, is especially in the upper panel. It's a thicker, it's almost the 3.5 to 4 inch band, similar to what Latitude's now doing with their Maverick series. And it really distributes the load on your back. And I really like that. It's just much more comfortable. I think that there's a lot more adjustment in this saddle, and it really fits my needs. So again, be a Buzzard Roost saddle. I love their bridge. It's the easiest adjusting bridge that I've ever seen. I did get theirs with the bridge, so it's adjustable on the left side. I personally like a bridge adjustable on the left side, being a right-handed shooter, simply because if you look at the distance from your loops over here to this knot versus your loops over here to your adjustment side, when I'm a right-handed shooter, if I'm going to roll one direction, it's going to be to my left, and having more travel on the right side gives me more room to roll. I don't, being a right-handed shooter, I do not like my adjustment on the right. Buzzard Roost allows you to do a lot of customizing, where on past saddles, I've had to untie the bridges and redo it all, and that's always a gamble. Are you putting it back right and everything? Also, a lot of adjustment, in their loops and everything. Again, I'm going to do a full breakdown on the saddle. So as I continue around the saddle, I do have over here on my right-hand side a Doyle's Hoist for my bow, and it is in a, and this is the strap version of the Doyle's, not the string version. I like the strap version, and it is in a Eastern Woods Outdoors fleece pouch. Because I one stick, I could actually use my rappel rope as a pull-up rope for my bow and not even need this, and that would be ideal. However, I film, so my pack is full of heavy camera gear, and so I use my rappel rope for that, and so I still run a Doyle's. If I didn't film, I probably wouldn't run a pack of any sort, and I wouldn't run the Doyle's, but for my situation, it seems to work the best. Going around the saddle, I do have some Kidex Clips. Again, these are Eastern Woods Outdoors. These would be in case I would multi-stick, and allows me to hang my sticks and my platform off of these Kidex Clips as I climb. But again, I hardly use these anymore. Going around a little bit further, I have actually a hook, a S-beaner here, strap in it without a gate on it. This I actually use to, when I'm descending on my one stick, I take my one stick, I actually hook it in here, and then I descend. That way I don't have to drop it or anything. Just real simple, easy in, easy out. Going around to the left side of the saddle is my dump pouch. And I simply use the cheap Amazon ones. These you can get for like anywhere, I think 12 to 15 bucks on Amazon. I think this is the Tactical, but if you just get on Amazon and do dump pouch, you'll find these. What I like about these is they've got a semi-rigid opening so they don't collapse. They actually have structure to them. So many of the name brand ones, they're just a floppy bag, and I like having this thing where it's got structure. Like when I'm actually hunting, I'll put my phone in here, you know, other things. I can just reach in and reach out and grab them. Okay, it's got little pockets on it. I keep a little green flashlight in one side, my bow hook, which I'll talk about in a minute, and some more of these S-beaners, just like this one, that I use to hang my quiver off of on my gear strap, and also a battery for some of my filming stuff. Okay, so just keep them in there. They're real handy. On this inside my dump pouch, I kind of carry minimal stuff. I still go, my favorite go-to, I've had a bunch of straps, and there's a lot of good ones out there. This is an original tethered Hiss strap, and I love this. I've seen the newer ones. I do not like the newer ones. The older ones are much more robust in the way they're made. I just like them. I've got some others. A couple of good friends of mine have made custom ones for me and everything, and they're wonderful. I love the simplicity of this strap. It's just so much easier for me as my go-to. Also inside here, I typically keep a grunt call. This is a Phelps grunt call. I really like the Phelps grunt call. This is their Beta Pro. It just rides down in here. I don't have to dig it out of my pack or anything. It's always with me, and it just sits under there. For a bow hanger, I still use, I bought this when I first started saddle hunting, and I still use a simple, it's called a Jawbone. It's aluminum. I don't really even know the manufacturer, but if you Google or look up on Facebook, Jawbone bow hanger, that's all it is. I love this thing. It's simple. The only time that this thing can be an issue is on, say, smaller diameter trees that have got slick bark, because it doesn't have a wide footprint down below. When you get on a slick tree, especially that's a smaller diameter, it can want to kick side to side. So those trees, you gotta be real careful. But on any sizable tree, you know, 12-inch, 18-inch trees, especially if it's got some texture to the bark, these things it just grabs in there, and I've never had an issue with them. But I like it. It's simple, it's thin, it weighs almost nothing. You know, I mean, there's a lot of great ones in there. It's, I mean, to connect on the Hiss strap, once you get the Hiss strap on, it just goes up and it pulls down and locks in. And then there is a bungee if you want to use it that goes up over, but I seldom use the bungee, to be honest with you. And I love it. Others, you got to like get them behind the strap and then adjust the strap, and I don't like monkeying with all that stuff. This thing just works, and it just takes up no room and rides right there. So really, that is my saddle that I'm using this year. Again, really love it. I've had the pleasure of hunting out of many different ones, and right now this is my go-to. I really, really like this saddle. Oh, as far as a lineman belt goes, lineman rope, this is actually I really like theirs too. This is a Latitude lineman belt. This is their vapor line. I like it. It's small diameter. It's lightweight. I like the way they do their prusik with the adjustment piece. Just like this rope. The Latitude did give me this rope, so I did not pay for it, but you can order them. On the end of this, for a carabiner, Latitude's got some decent ones. I really like this one. This is one I bought years ago when I got into my first saddle. This is a tethered carabiner. I just like the overall size and shape of it. It just seems to work well. I took hockey tape and wrapped around it. Hockey tape is your friend when you're mobile hunting. And I just like this carabiner for some reason. It just seems to work for me. I can find things with it easy. It's not tight. I don't know. I just like it. So I've been using it. And yeah, so I guess there you go. That now is the complete saddle. So anyways, I'm going to set this actually aside right here. All right, so let's get into the platform. Again, I one stick. When it comes to multi-sticking and platforms, I've got some different options. I really, really love my Eastern Woods multi-sticks. I've got a set of Latitude carbon sticks. I like those as well. I don't know. I'm 6 of one, half dozen the other between the two of them. When it comes to platforms, you know, I got a Latitude Rebel that I really like. I've got a tethered Predator platform. It's fine for what it is. I've got an Arsenal, one of their original Arsenals. Really like that one. But again, I don't use them very often. So when I do multi-stick, I just tend to grab whatever one's laying on top of the pile. When it comes to one sticking though, I really have bounced around. I've got an Eastern Woods Outdoor Ultimate One Stick, and the one you see on my pack that I've been using this year, this is made by Out on a Limb, and this is they call it their pinch point, which I hate that name. I think it's a horrible name for a one stick. I think it implies you're going to get pinched or something, but whatever. I've gone back and forth between the two. There's things I love about them both and things that I wish would be improved about both. And I did a whole side-by-side comparison on them. Really love the Eastern Woods Outdoors one stick overall. I love their lower platform. It pulls the aider off the tree, allows you to get your foot in the aider really easily. The downside of the Eastern Woods, in my opinion, and maybe it's because I have their angled platform, is I just don't have a lot of foot space on their top platform. And so this year I decided I'm going to try this pinch point out, give it a try. And I really, really, I like it more and more every time I use it. However, I do wish the bottom step stood off the tree another 1.5 to 2 inches. It would make it easier to get your feet into the aider. So let's take it off of this pack. It happens to be on a Latitude Ranger 22 pack, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. So here is the pinch point. Again, I wish Matt, who owns Out on a Limb, would have named it something different. I hate the name, but anyways, great. It's a great one stick in that it's compact and it folds up really compact. And again, I did a whole video on this. So when it's on your pack, it's like that. When you're climbing the tree, this is actually up like this. And then when you get up on the tree, you've got this giant platform right here. And I really like the platform. It's got a little bit of angle on the front side, not nearly amount of angled surface as what the Eastern Woods does, but I think it's sufficient. It definitely is sufficient for my needs, and you got a much larger standing surface. Again, the lower step on the Eastern Woods sticks out further, and I really like that a lot better. But this is working for me. I just wish it would come out, but he could come out. He's inside this plane, so he could come out another inch or so and get on the same plane. But you know, I don't know. So when it comes to aider, I'm a huge fan of Ultimator. John Richards is a friend of mine who's the owner of Ultimator, and I got one of his original pack and plays on this. I'm going to actually put his pack and play plus on this. I just haven't done it yet. So this just is a roll pouch that keeps your aider in here, and I've got a 2-step Ultimator set up in here. I love these. They're adjustable. Even though once you get going, you learn your stuff, you really don't need adjustable. But I like them. I like them a lot. I've gone back and forth between a 3-step and a 2-step. I'm starting to be more of a fan of a 2-step. I used to do 3 a lot. 3 helps you on your very first initial move. And the only other time it can help you is sometimes if you're in kind of a funky situation and you just need help getting a foot in a lower step. But overall, I just like the 2-step a lot. So that's the one stick I'm using currently. Again, I do love my Eastern Woods outdoor stick. I love all the guys there. They're all friends of mine. And, you know, I know Matt also owns Out on a Limb. So you cannot go wrong with either one of these. So check out my video on these. So I'm going to set this aside as well. Okay, so let's break down the pack here. So I've gone back and forth on packs quite a bit. And honestly, if I did not film, I probably would not use a pack at all. I literally would wear my saddle, carry my bow in one hand, and carry my one stick in the other. For years, I've ran actual camera packs that are larger, heavier. This year, I tried a couple regular backpacks that are soft, no structure to them, and they just being that I carry camera gear, they just don't work. They just tend to, I get in the tree and everything wants to flop one way or another. So Latitude had sent me this Ranger 22 pack, and I did a whole video on this. And I did not pay for this pack. They sent it to me right as they were launching the product. And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use it. Well, then I got playing with it one day and thought, man, I bet you I could make this into a mobile hunting pack for me and a camera pack. So it's wonderful. I like it because it actually has got a frame in it. So it's rigid. It doesn't want to collapse on me when it's hanging from the tree. I would use a hero clip on the top. Again, I clip my rappel rope on here and can pull it up and down with that. It's a side pocket. I can put my camera arm. This is a 4th arrow. It's their micro triple arm. Better, it's good for saddle hunting. And on this side, I have a dump pouch over here. Again, another one of these cheap Amazon dump pouches. And inside of that, I actually have, instead of a 4th arrow base, I have it's catching on the side here. I have an Out on the Limb, again, same manufacturer as the Pinch Point one stick, their base with a board out for the 4th arrow camera arm. Matt will do that for people. And at first I wasn't a big fan of this, but the more I use it, the more I like it. And so I've replaced my 4th arrow base for this year with this. And so far it's going really well. I know it's not mobile hunting, but wanted you to know why this is on here and why this now works for me. Okay, as far as other things mobile hunting related, in the top of this thing is a convenient little pocket that holds my Mad Rock and carabiner that I'm going to need for my one sticking for the climbing and the rappelling process. Okay, and then also is in here is an Amsteel cord, and this is made by cord, and this is made 55. It's hard to remember things. This is made by Innovating the Outdoors. It's Amsteel. I like it because in the end, it's got a ball and a bungee so I can wrap it up on itself. I've used the different types of coil up systems. One's Ultimator's got one, and the Amsteel guy makes one, and they're fine. I actually just find just the figure eighting of your fingers just works sufficient for me. It's quick, it's easy. I never have problems with it knotting up. This little carabiner here is from Eastern Woods Outdoors and actually came on their Dynaglide pull-up rope, and I really liked it, so I put it on this. And the Dynaglide that a lot of people use, it works really well too. I find it can sometimes be a little more finicky. This, I really like the way this one works, the Amsteel. Again, it's got the ball and the bungee on it, so it just is easy to pack up. So that's why I run those. All right, so I'm going to open this pack and show the last really mobile hunting piece that I have. Doing this blind. And that is right here, the Repelling Line. Okay, so this is Canyon Elite rappel rope. This came from Eastern Woods Outdoors. It was originally their 40-foot setup with the sewn eye on it. So it was 40 foot. I cut it down to, after using 40 foot for about a year, I cut it down to about 32 feet. Just 40 foot was just too much for me. I mean, if you go around, say, an 18-inch diameter tree, you could get up to a platform height if you're 6 foot tall of 29, 30 feet. By the time you consume some that goes around the tree, plus you add in your height, um, I don't need to go that high. And for me, it just, I carry enough camera gear and stuff that it was just obnoxious. So I cut it down, used the other 8 feet and made a tether out of it, basically. So I've got an extra tether or lineman or something if I ever need one. And then I heat shrinked, just like you can order them from Eastern Woods Outdoors, with a piece of Dynaglide loop. I actually threaded it through. They got instructions. There's instructions on YouTube how to do it and heat shrink that. So this is what I clip onto this Hero clip, and I can pull my bag up and down with. Okay. So at the end of the sewn eye, I've got a Kong quick link right here. Okay, this is climbing rated, and then from Innovating the Outdoors again, I've got this 3D printed nut. Just makes it much easier to grab this and open and close it, especially when your hands are cold. If you happen to be wearing gloves, it just makes it so much easier. Then you got this piece here. This is the legendary Ohm locker. Again, Innovating the Outdoors. And this would be after you go around the tree and you put your quick link around. I mean, this is what basically you jam up by the quick link, and it keeps everything from wanting to slide down the tree. And then when you clip this into this loop right here and you yank it and pull it, the whole thing comes down. So I've got several videos on how to do that and one sticking and everything. So please check those out because I can go through, I mean, how to use all this stuff in detail in those videos. So that is essentially the mobile hunting gear. Other things in this pack, again, I talked about my camera gear. Right now it's pretty empty because I'm obviously have some camera gear equipment out, but I was able to use some Tupperware, and I can drop my main lens of my camera in here, and then my little action cameras and POV cameras and stuff over here, and batteries. And it really works out well because this rope just rides on top of it. I've got some little miscellaneous stuff in these pockets right here, which, you know, if I need it, it's there. You know, paper, pins, tear tags, you know, just stuff like that. I do have another flashlight, a big white light in this pocket down here. So if I need an actual light to track or something like that, it's with me. So anyways, that is my mobile hunting gear for 2024. And when you lay it out here, it kind of looks like a lot, but it's amazing. You pack it up and really it's nothing to carry in, and it's incredibly efficient, and it really works for my hunting style. So there you go. Deep dive into my whole mobile hunting gear. So I hope that you found something that's useful. If you got specific questions about any products that I've gone over, just let me know. Go through my YouTube channel, and I've got several videos on one sticking, on multi-sticking, saddle hunting in general. I've got a side-by-side video where I one stick up and multi-stick up and come back down. It's all timed in real time, and decide what works best for you. So there is no right and there is no wrong answer when it comes to mobile hunting. You can go the lightweight tree stand route, multi-stick, one stick, multi-stick and rappel, multi-stick and or one stick up with a regular stick and use a platform. There's a gazillion ways to do it, and there's no right or wrong way. So, all right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you got questions about anything, please ask in the comments. As always, God bless. Stay safe. This is a safe way to go, in my opinion. And it's a new day in the outdoors.